I work at Ginnaby College, managing the projects for our Healing Circle, and Circle means the Collaborative Indigenous Research Centre for Learning and Educating, which is the project we're doing here in Kalumburu. It started with the community saying, we invite you to come here and work with us to talk about the crisis in this community and to talk about recovery from the grief and the trauma of what actually happened in the crisis situation.
The best way to do this work is holistically, of course, and we have to include the elders. You've got the elders, which is the old grannies and the old grandfathers, then you've got the aunties, then you've got the young mums, then you've got the teenagers, then you've got the little kids. So there's about 6 different layers of people. We work with the elders first, gain their trust, let them know what we're here for.
So trauma recovery is actually a journey. It's a journey of work. And it starts with the group talking about the things that they don't like about their community that are really difficult, and also then talking about the things that they want. And because part of the trauma is that they've lost their feeling of identifying as Aboriginal people. They've been told you've got to be white. And we look at that picture and then we look at what are the things in this community that already exist that make them strong, resilient, powerful. So a lot of the listening happens in the second block, which we're in now, the listening and the learning. So we start with recreating the circle of well-being, which is grounding it in the law that they lived before.
Today we're creating a safe place around the mango trees. It's an open space where everyone can come down. The water around the circle symbolises creating the safe place within the circle, which is really important, providing a very safe place for people to come in and share their stories, and it allows them to talk about all their feelings, knowing that no one else is going to know about it. It doesn't go outside the circle. It's
not the university over here, the government over here. It's the circle. And it also means the people who work here. For example, the CEO, the deputy CEO, the people in the office, the people who come in and provide the clinic program, the school program, because this community cannot recover this generational trauma and recover from it without the engagement of everyone already engaged in their community. We can't do it aside from the people who live and work here.
When I came here, there was a community in crisis, a shattered community, and a community that wants to heal and go forward and get out of all those things that hurt in this place. And a part of that in particular is the men of this community, where there has been different levels of support for women and children, but there was hardly anything here for the men.
Yes.
We decided when we got here that I'd start a men's group. Once a week we get together and talk about our problems that we're having, and then we work out ways of how do we address them.
It's not much activities, Only one activity they have is basketball.
No, they just get nothing to entertain them. That's why they're always running amok and burning things, trying to be like a little gangster or something.
Young Ian, when I first came here, a very friendly young man, very proud of his culture here.
This one here, this is a bush apple tree.
Always involved in putting together activities for the youth of his age, boys and girls.
A lot of kids go mad over this, and all these things that look like a kangaroo. Miniwara, you remember flying fox?
Oh, yes.
Ian has been accepted at Southern Cross University, Lismore, and with him completing his studies, the rest of the youth in this community will see that and say, hey, I'd like to step up like Ian did.
When before war, or after the war, what they say, we were happy, children were happy, go to school, happy way, no argue, talk every day. But now we find it pretty hard, you need to take money. But those days, kangaroo, bullock, turtle, fish after fish. And that's why children never died, children never went sick, nothing. They were happy at the birth.
we teach education which is appropriate to their lifestyles, and at this community the education should be based around the strong culture that they have here, the fact that they live on the land, they're still well connected, and it's paramount that we teach our kids the old ways so we can survive.
That potential's powerful, and that's what we can work with, because then that'll, once one person changes, it rolls on like domino effect. So almost immediately in the first week, in recreating the circle, these old ones were talking about the past, talking about the law, talking about their lives. Then the young ones were dancing at the end of it.
That's where the strength is going to come from themselves, you know. The strength that we have inside of us, we share it. And we learn from our elders, it gets passed on to us, we pass it on to our young people, and the cycle goes on.
Since China and Gennaro came, well, everything is starting to come good now, you know, with the young ones. When we like more of that, you know. There's quite a few young people around about us, you know. They need more help.
So this law, this part of the law and the rest of their law is very powerful for creating strong, healthy children, emotionally, mentally, physically, because if they don't have the spiritual power, the spiritual strength that comes from our law, then emotionally, mentally and physically they can't be well. That has to come first, always. We know that. It's part of our way.